At the beginning, avoidance can feel almost perfect. They're affectionate, fun, present. They flirt, they make plans, they seem engaged, and if you're anxious, it can feel like finally being seen by someone who holds themselves back so much. That period feels safe because it's light. There's no pressure yet, no deep emotional weight. Everything is fun, easy, even exciting. But here's the thing most people don't see. Avoidance process relationships differently. They don't let things roll off the same way that a secure person might. When criticism comes up, even small things, they don't necessarily forget it. They're very sensitive. When you feel hurt or upset, or when you express a need, that sticks. And avoidants don't process these experiences quickly. Their brain processes social and emotional interactions slowly, which is a neurological thing. It's not that they're cruel or intentionally holding grudges. It's just the way their system works. So over time, small tensions, little criticisms, moments where they didn't meet a need, or even subtle things that triggered their insecurity or fear, all start to pile up. For an anxious partner, these moments might feel minor. You might see things as a small correction or a conversation to fix. But for an avoidant, the internal replay is constant. The nervous system keeps track of each moment. The mind tracks all of the disappointment, the expectation, the emotional intensity. Every instance builds quietly into a heavier load. And when you layer on the natural stresses of a relationship, the deeper emotional conversations, the desire for consistency, the moments where vulnerability is required, the avoidant nervous system starts hitting its limits. They're not used to emotional closeness being constant. They've learned a survival through regulation, detachment, and pacing themselves emotionally. They can do light fun, playful connection for months, but when the weight grows, suddenly the emotional load can sometimes feel unmanageable, and they have to take a break to regulate themselves. This is where you see the abrupt shift. It's not that they stopped caring overnight. It's not that love disappeared in a single moment. It's a cumulative neurological effect. Months of stored tension, unresolved moments, and perceived criticism all converge. When the internal pressure exceeds what their nervous system can handle, the default survival response activates, pulling away, shutdown, and sometimes abrupt breakups. From the outside, it looks like sudden change. It looks like one day everything is fine, and the next day the avoidant is distant, cold, or leaving. But inside, it's been building for months, maybe even the whole year. Each small thing the anxious partner didn't realize mattered has been added to the pile. The brain is overloaded. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for regulation, empathy, and perspective, is temporarily offline under the stress. All that's left is instinctive self-protection. It's also why anxious partners often feel blindsided. And when you're blindsided and left without no explanation or proper closure, the mind will start searching, trying to make sense of the loss. You've been aware of tensions, moments of disagreements, or misalignments for months. You feel like you're seeing the cracks before anyone else. And the avoidant hasn't processed it consciously. They haven't allowed themselves to feel the cumulative stress in those moments. They keep moving, keep regulating, keep suppressing until suddenly the system can't take it anymore. And it's not about blame. It's not that you've done too much or messed up. It's that the avoidant nervous system has a limit for emotional capacity and stress. Their brain interprets the buildup as danger, emotional, relational danger, and survival mode kicks in. That's why breakups sometimes feel sudden, even after months or a year of seeming stability. The lesson here is subtle but important to understand. Avoidance can be loving, engaged, and connected until the cumulative stress of life, relationship expectations, and emotional pressure exceeds what they can tolerate. That's why the first year of a relationship often looks ideal. It's light, fun, manageable. Once depth, certain demands, vulnerability, and consistency show up, their nervous system can become flooded. And from there, the protective responses appear, pulling back, shutting down, or ending the relationship. Understanding this doesn't excuse hurtful behavior, but it explains it. It also helps anxious partners stop personalizing everything. The abrupt change isn't about you failing, it's about capacity, it's about limits, and it's a neurological pattern, not a moral judgment. This buildup is cumulative and invisible. Avoidants rarely communicate the stress they're holding. Sometimes they can be unaware and think it's normal daily living. They rarely say, "I can't handle this emotional weight anymore." They just reach the limit silently and then act. And for anyone who's been on the receiving end, it can feel shocking, but it's predictable. If you understand how their nervous system works, how fear, overwhelm, and attachment tension build over time, the sudden shift starts to make sense.